Okay, let's talk here. This is going to be one of those days when I'm probably preaching to the choir as far as letting you know what's important to your grade and what needs to be there as we approach the end of the semester. But remember, this is also, hello, anybody watching this who isn't here right now but is watching a recording later, it's for those people too, right? So here is what's going on. So it is our last week, remote all week this week. I don't know whether I'll meet with you every day. I do think we're going to meet today. We're going to meet tomorrow, obviously, because we're going to go over with Mice and Men. Wednesday's a required live day. We'll see later about Thursday and Friday. But Kaylee Lynn is here. Let her in. But okay, so we are finishing the last half of the stuff for vocab lesson 7. Okay, so that means creative usage on that is due by tonight. I hope everybody got their vocab books home. If you did not and you're just now figuring that out, that's not too responsible there, but let me know, and hopefully we can figure something else out. But we will have one last vocab test on the end of this week about that with the usual, completion and corrections type thing. Okay, so of Mice and Men Part 5 study guide, that is due by tonight. I hope a lot of you have maybe already done that, or at least have read most of it. I don't think it's overly long. I think it's maybe like 15 pages, so it's still doable if you happen to have procrastinated that for the entire vacation, not to mention the last couple of days of the week before the break. But let's finish strong on that. We're not going to have like a huge test on it or something, but remember, this is one of 2 books that you get to choose between to write your literary analysis paper. Okay, so we'll be reading another novel 3rd quarter, then 4th quarter you'll write that literary analysis paper, and you want to be able to choose the one that you feel like you can write about the best. So that's your motivation there. And of course, to just finish getting your grades in those study guides and have a decent discussion about it. Okay, as far as writing goes, the majority of you obviously have turned in your research papers, but there are several people who have not. And obviously that's pretty devastating to your grade. So I just want to tell you that, sometime a reasonable, part of this week that needs to get turned in. If you're going to do it, we don't want to be dealing with going back and forth about makeups with me when you need to be concentrating on your exams next week. I know some of your exams might be a little more stressful or require a lot more preparation than others, but still, we want a clear head, want to be able to focus on those next week and finish the semester clean, not worry about whether you're passing or not, for God's sake, and then be able to start the semester fresh. So speaking of that exam, we've got a little explanation here, but I'm just going to come off the share. This is not something that's going to stress you out, but I do think it's going to be something that'll be healthy for all of us to just kind of oblige you to reflect a little bit about all the stuff that's going on this year and how it's affecting how you're doing in your classes, and specifically how you're handling English class, because I think every subject is different. I mean, what do you guys think are the hardest subjects to do virtually? I feel like English is maybe not the hardest, right? It's probably more like what? Math and science, maybe the hardest to do. Math, yeah.
English for me.
What's that, Roman?
English for me.
Oh yeah, that's more just a procrastination problem, though, isn't it? Yeah. I do think you can kind of, fool yourself into feeling like that you can just kind of put things off in English, and there's not like this sequential thing, daily like there is in math, or maybe to some degree science or some other things. And then you can, all catch up, but then the next thing you know, it piles up, right? And then you have more reading than you can really do, or you have a bunch of writing tasks that seem, insurmountable and things like that. So there's a lot of stuff that we can think about. And maybe as we get like close to the end of the week, I'm not going to do it today, and I'm hoping to have maybe that'd be a good thing to do on Wednesdays for us to do a little brainstorming activity. But our exam, is that a pug? Do we have a pug in class with us? That's so great. What's his name, William? Or her name? He can't tell us now. He's getting attacked. I love pugs. Okay, back to what I was talking about. He said something, but I couldn't hear him. The exam will be an essay question. I might divide it into 2 essay questions, but where you're going to ask to, demonstrate how you are able to put together, a basic 5-paragraph essay, but on the spot. And you're going to write an introduction with a thesis and a blueprint that has 3 points that reflect on what you think you have done well and what you don't think you have done well, and then how you plan to try to improve as far as like getting your work done and getting the kind of grades that you're normally capable of getting, right? Because one thing I hear from some parents is, my son or my daughter is usually a straight A student, or usually all A's and B's, and they're in honors classes, and then this year that's not happening. It's really frustrating. I know that is frustrating, but you've got to, we got to figure this out. It's not going to change probably for at least this quarter, if not the rest of the year. I think we're probably going to be sticking with this cohort system. As far as the general public, I mean, vaccines, you're not really looking at them until the spring. I'm getting mine in 2 weeks, by the way. I'm pretty excited about that. They released the teachers are getting vaccines in Ohio starting January 15th. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And I hope you guys are not too long after, but I think it might be as many as a couple more months before that actually happens, unfortunately. All right. So anyway, you can start thinking about that. There's nothing that you have to do, but since English tests are going to tend to have more extended responses than most other subjects, have you guys seen the exam schedule? There's sort of a schedule. So it's like each subject has a different day that you release/do your exam. Okay, and some teachers might be doing more of a project type thing. Some people might be trying to do more of an official test, with like multiple choice stuff over Edulastic or something like that. I'm not really an Edulastic person, and I don't know. I get overly concerned about test security because I want it to be fair for everybody. So I figure a written response is going to work better for me. So think about that. Let me know if you have any questions about any of these other things going on, but your immediate concern is to finish part 5 of Mice and Men and get that study guide turned in tonight in vocab creative usage. So I think that's all I really have for you. So unless anybody has any questions, I will let you go. Points for being here. Appreciate it. Have a good morning.